Nickname.
Shan.
Where were you born?
Montgomery, Alabama.
Favorite city?
Chicago.
Favorite thing to drink?
Sprite.
Favorite TV show?
Real Housewives of Atlanta. Love it so much.
Most recent vacation?
I don't do vacations. Yeah.
Where did you travel? Most recent place you've been?
LA.
LA. Okay. 3 things you couldn't live without.
My Bible, my 2 dogs, that counts as one, and Italian food.
This is good. That was good. First car you ever owned?
A beat up Ford Focus, it was green, I called her Betty.
Betty. I like it. What is something you couldn't live without?
Something I couldn't live without? Definitely my dog, yeah.
Dog. That's a repeat question. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Biggest pet peeve?
Smacking food.
Like,
Yeah, I ain't got time
Gum?
for that. No time.
must-have CD if you were stuck on a desert island.
Oh my gosh, this is so hard. This is like asking your favorite song. Anything Reba. Anything.
Reba?
Yeah, Reba.
Yeah. One thing you couldn't do without if life depended on it.
One thing I couldn't do without if life depended on it.
Air. I don't know.
One thing I couldn't do without if life depended on it. I could not do without my family, my grandmother.
That's good. Hello and welcome to the Chris Berkman Experience. We are here at Soul Shine Pizza in Nashville, Tennessee. I have Shanna Henderson here with me today.
Hey y'all.
I'm so excited. So you were on the Glee Project. That's amazing. I told you my sister is a huge fan of it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean,
Shout out to your sister.
Hey Mackenzie.
Hey Mackenzie.
I love you. She'll love that. So Glee is a popular show on Fox right now.
Yeah.
And so fill us in. There are people watching that probably don't know what the Glee Project is.
Yeah, so the Glee Project was a competition series that it was a companion show of a competition series to Glee. So the winner got a episode arc on the Glee show. So it was the biggest audition process that you could ever go through.
How long was that?
It started in October, and then that was the very initial audition, and then you got on the show in January, and the show filming ended in April, end of March, and then it aired in June. So it was pretty much a year of your life.
I'm sure it was a fun year.
It was so much fun. There was a lot of work, but a lot of great friendships and memories from it, and it was great.
Now, auditioning, how did you find out about that?
So I watched the Glee Project season 1 the year before, and I knew about Glee Project because of that. And then one of my friends uploaded a video of an audition for her audition for Glee Project. And then I was a senior in college, and I was realizing I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I was a musical theater major, and one of my professors said you're going to get 500 no's before 1 maybe. So I was like, I got to get these no's out of the way. So I did a video submission because I didn't have enough gas money to come up to Nashville. And it was a Nashville audition.
Okay.
Yeah, full circle. It's crazy. That seems to be the theme of my life. Everything's just really coming full circle. But I did the video audition, and then within about 2 hours, it got a lot of hits, and then made my way up to Nashville for an in-person audition, and then they flew me out to LA. So it was just one thing after another. And
happened pretty quickly.
It did. It happened extremely quickly, and I finished my senior show, and then the next week was Glee Project auditions, and then Thanksgiving I was in LA. First time ever going west of New Orleans, so it was a big step for this little Alabama girl.
I've never been to LA.
Yeah, it was different.
Well, I mean, your journey in memers.
Well, okay, so Mimi is her name, but I call her Memers. It's just become a little thing I called her, so it's either Mimi or Memers.
I love it, memers. But your grandma raised you. Memers
She did.
raised you.
Yeah, she
and
did.
your grandma.
They did. They took me and my older sister in when I was officially and legally when I was about 4, around that age, and raised me like their own. So, and then my aunt was a big part of that too. So it's my grandmother, my grandfather, and my aunt, and they all just raised me like their own. And I mean, I had 2 moms and a dad, and it was great. And we grew up. We didn't have a lot of money, but there was so much love in our family that it was like you didn't even miss out at all. So it was great.
That's why you're so talented. It's because you had to come up with creative things to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was the girl that like I was born in the country. Okay, like Reeltown, Alabama. There are mud bogs, and there's fishing, and there's hunting, and I didn't like any of that kind of stuff. I liked to take my like toys and dolls outside and like put on shows for them in my open field. And like I'm dead serious. Like, and the only person that would be there would be Memers, and she'd be like, "Good, Shanna, so good."
Number one fan right there.
Yeah, she's my biggest fan, and I mean, just the stories of my grandmother, and now being older, like it's awesome to look back at of everything they sacrificed for me, and every time I wanted to sing and just rehearse and practice, we'd go in the car, because for some reason I thought the car made me sound better. So we'd go sit in a still car, and I would practice the national anthem and just sing it over and over and over again, and she would sit in there with me and let me sing, and anytime we were driving anywhere, she was like, "All right, radio down, sing for me." So it was such a great environment to grow up in with them.
That support is probably why you were able to do so well in the Glee project. You know, I mean, I think attributing family support is why people do so well, because they're confident and they know someone's cheering them on.
Yeah.
You know, some people don't have that.
You're very true. I was blessed to come from very humble beginnings, and then also like I saw a lot of the ugly, but I was turned away from that with my grandparents. So I saw both worlds. It was really good to be able to be with them.
Well, and you know, your past it has shaped the person you are, and the person you are. You're writing music for you're in the studio recording. So talk about the music and the process.
Yeah, so I've been super blessed to be working with Pat Alger, and he's been a huge songwriting mentor for me here in Nashville, and he's a Hall of Famer, so it's crazy to be able to go and work with him every day, and he's been just like a father figure to me in writing. And our very first song that we wrote together, I told him, I was like, my mom, she's a terrible past at making really bad decisions, but I see so much of myself in her, which is mildly terrifying, and at the same time, like, so beautiful, because she's my mother still. And I was like, I want to write a song that isn't afraid to talk about what she's been through and the decisions she's made, but also, like, in being from a small town, people would always say, "Oh, you're Dietrich's daughter," you know, like, and kind of put shame to that. And I wanted to write a song where it was like, "Yeah, I'm Dietrich's daughter," and so we wrote a song the very first time called Dietrich's Daughter, and it's really good. I'm really proud of it, because not one time does it talk badly about my mom, and we could have so easily done that, but I have no hard feelings towards her. And I love to be able to share my perspective of her story and share that in the song form, and to be able to write that with Pat was just amazing. And we'd actually just performed it at the Bluebird a couple of weeks ago here in Tin Pan South, and it was like such a great moment to be able to.
Such an iconic venue.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It was surreal, and to be able to do it with Pat, and him introduce me, and him play guitar for me while doing it, and the first time debuting that song for a crowd at Bluebird during Tin Pan South, it was, I mean, I don't know that I could have asked for a better way to do it, so it was great. Yeah, that is, for me, the surreal part of something that I had no knowledge of going into this, because I really did move here after Glee Project, and just throwing it in the wind and saying, if this is going to work, the Lord's just going to lead it, and it's going to work. And then, I mean, I met Jenny within like 4 months of being here, and it's a funny story, if it weren't for my grandmother and my aunt actually, more so than my grandmother, I was ready to come home, because I was just like, I don't know anybody, I moved here, I don't know a soul. And there were some days I would go like without talking to anybody, and it was just me and my dog, and I was like, this is not good. I have no friends. And then my aunt was like, no, this is your moment, you're staying. And I'll be darned if it wasn't like the next week I met Jenny and got coffee with her, and I've been working with her ever since, and just her knowledge of the industry has been
very
priceless.
wise.
Yeah, and she's honest, and I'm an honest person, so I want someone that's not afraid to work as hard as me and for me, and she's definitely not. She works harder than me, and then be like someone who's not afraid to just tell me how it is and tell me in those decisions, but to still let me make the decision, and that's so important. And she is so graceful at what she does, and just I couldn't ask for a better manager for sure.
Where do you still want to go? Where do you see yourself going? And what does success look like to Shanna Henderson?
So many different things for me. Success, I think I am a person of spontaneity, and so I have focus and drive, and I have goals, but at the same time they're still very open to be to allow for change and growth within that. So success for me, I want to sell out arenas. You know, I want to play the game and work the game and get to where I can be selling out arenas all over the United States and the world, and be able to just share my story, because for me as an artist, it's the only way that I can truly make sense of the things I've been through, and I want to be able to share that with so many people, and it's so much easier for me to do it through song than speaking about it. So that's something that successful for me, I think, would be opening for major artists on their tour. Real success, I think, would be headlining my own, and I just want to write music that people love, timeless, classic music that they, like the fancies, you know, that 20 years later I'm playing for my kids, and they love it, you know, and I would love for a song of mine to be a karaoke hit, you know, where people are like, play that, DJ, like turn it up, you know, I'd love that so much. I would be so blessed for that to happen. So that for me is success, and also being able to take my dogs on the road. Yeah.
It's funny how many artists take their dogs on the road.
Yeah, my dogs are everything.
And I think your story is great, and I'm really glad that you came here at Soul Shine Pizza and talked with me.
Yeah.
Because I felt like this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Thank you so much for having me here. It's great. Soul Shine's been great to have us.
Yes,
And
I love it.
It smells so good still.
Yes. Go drink a Sprite.
I will.
Well, thank you so much for watching the Chris Berkman Experience. Until another experience, I'll see you next time.